Yo, what it is, what it do, how it be, how you living. I hope it's large. What's up? It's your boy Skydweller. This is episode number 4 or 5. Honestly, I'm not gonna keep count. Just know that I'm out here. I got the message and I'm trying to, share it with y'all. Because although it's cool knowing it all, or almost knowing it all, or getting close to it, it's cooler when you know it all and then share it. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Hold on for a second. Gotta cross the highway. It's real out here in the field. I mean, it's so real. We got like the cops and stuff, you know what I'm saying, blocking traffic. I think the traffic lights are out, but we right here at Saddle Hill. If you know, you know. All right. I always tag my location, so. But anyway, all right. Yeah, I'm here for humanity, man. Like, I'm really here to help y'all, help us as we transition into this new age of abundance, this new age of intelligence, this new age of intelligent machines, this new age of enlightenment, this new leveling up of consciousness. And basically, all we're really going to be talking about today, right now, is Let me think. What's a good topic? What did we do before? Okay. All right, so basically in 5 years, we're going to hit super intelligence, okay? What does that mean? Well, that means that we have no idea what it's going to do, all right? Well, what does that mean for you in the real world? That basically means that you're going to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do at any time, at any place, anywhere, anyhow, any way. Okay? Like, I'm not trying to get religious, but you're basically going to be a god. All right? You are going to be a god. Because the only existence of the term and what the term means is a definition, okay? And that definition has been already established by people way smarter than me a long time ago. And that basically is omnipresent, which is everywhere at one time, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, all loving, all knowing, all caring, everywhere at one time. Basically what you would think God is, okay? Creator of everything. Now, I'm going to dissect creator of everything, right? So we as human beings create, right? Otherwise we would just be, sitting by a tree, looking for food. All right, like, we do more than that. We strive to create things, a family, a life, a purpose, a mission, an adventure, an experience, a picture, music, art. Otherwise it would just be black and white. Okay, but we like color, we like diversity, we like creativity, we like imagination. We like discovery, we're curious, we like to travel, to see new things. We're creating new experiences, okay? We're constantly evolving, constantly moving, constantly getting better, getting more knowledgeable as the generations go on, as we start recording, right? Same with evolution, right? So, to go deep philosophically, real quick, the natural state of the universe is constant motion, right? So it is unnatural for something to be still in the universe, right? It's always moving. So that's the natural part of reality. is constant motion. Everything is moving. That's natural. That's what we expect to see when we look out into the natural world, and that is what we see. So, since everything is constantly moving, constantly evolving, constantly changing, what does that mean for us in this new changing world into super intelligence, robots, AI, nanotechnology, us turning into gods? Like, what does that all mean? Like, evolution is basically being sped up because of technology. So we're literally going to be seeing things evolve in real time. Like, whereas in the past, before technology, nature did it, but it took nature, billions of years. To go from a rock, lifeless planet to what you see now, or a seed that grows into a flower, or a baby that grows into a dog from the womb, right? So you have like a starting point and an entropy, like so. As it's like the arrow of time, things are going forward, right? So let's transition real quick. In the beginning, I was a little hesitant on where to go with this conversation because I wanted to kind of go back to the universe and theoretical physics, but this is a really good transition because, as I said, the universe is in constant motion. Everything is evolving, everything is changing, and because of technology, things are changing at a faster rate, exponentially. So with each software update, the jumps are going to be super, super high, and it's going to blow our mind like every time, but we're going to expect that. Like, if something isn't incredibly crazy for the next update, we're going to be like, what's this? And look for another company, with Apple and Google and Tesla and all them, like, they're on the forefront, right? They're the ones delivering this to us. So with that being said, entropy is the second law of thermodynamics, which basically means that things get more and more disorderly over time, right? There's an arrow where the egg breaks, and then a lot of stuff happens. But before the egg broke, nothing happened, right? So entropy is basically the disorder that happens after the egg breaks. So a full egg is low entropy, right? An egg that's cracked and it's like scrambled and all over the floor, bird came and ate it, that's high entropy, right? So things go from low entropy to high entropy. Why is that? Well, because the universe started 13.8 billion years ago in an event called the Big Bang, right? That was the starting point. Without that event, there would be no entropy. I don't know if the second law of thermodynamics is universal even outside of our universe, but if there is no event that starts our Big Bang, our universe, this whole thing that we're in, reality, the natural world, then there is no time. There is no entropy. There is no from a start to the finish. Things start, they come about, and then they end. Like, there is that is only because of an event that happened 13.8 billion years ago, right? Called the Big Bang. So without that, what I think is it's just an eternal void where energy just pops into existence through quantum fluctuations, virtual particles, and things happen after that. Like the original entropy, like the lowest entropy is probably just a void of like blackness and darkness. Like you basically just had your eyes closed, and then once you open your eyes, or once that virtual particle pops into existence, and through physics of that virtual particle having enough like mass, or being like a gram, to where it develops a gravitational field, right? And because it's such high energy, gravity actually acts repulsively and pushes out instead of attracting in. Like you fall, drop an apple, it falls to the ground. Well, in this case, you drop an apple and it just gets sucked up, right? That poof, that force. So, and it's just like the same with everything in the universe. There's a cause and effect. Like there's like black and white, like, opposites, like positive and negative. Like it's crazy, neutral, whatever. But so that repulsive force that blew up our bubble, what we see now, is not only expanding, but it's continuing to expand, and it's getting faster, it's accelerating. So not only is our universe expanding into a bigger bubble, but it's actually going faster, okay? So eventually, what the scientists think is that everything is just going to kind of fade away, burn out, just fade away, and everything's going to be like an equilibrium, you know? And then that equilibrium something will happen in that equilibrium, and another bubble universe will pop up, you know? But what was the first energy or whatever? How did the sea get there for things to, you know, arise from? You know, that's kind of like my question. That's always been my wonder. Like, okay, well, if bubble universes are popping out, are popping infinitely, as the math is telling us, then what is it coming from? Like, what is it like the quantum the virtual particles that come into existence, right? What are they coming into existence into? You know, like, okay, the virtual part, like there's nothing, no heat, no matter, no nothing. So what is that space? And where was the first space of it for it to put the energy into the universe to where it's just that first quantum fluctuation, you know, that Genesis first quantum fluctuation, and an absolute nothingness, you know? So that's the kind of philosophical stuff that I think about, that I've like researched and had hundreds, or not hundreds, but probably like 10,000 hours, probably more, of just continuously replaying and finding new videos of all the smartest experts, professors all around the world that have ideas, write books about it, and then, you know, go on YouTube and give lectures and whatnot, and book tours, and, you know, record their teachings from their classrooms. Shout out Sean Carroll. Shout out Richard Feynman, Neil Tyson deGrasse, Lawrence Krauss. You know, everybody, all the intellectual thinkers and experts in their respective fields, you know, coming out. Frank Wilczek, you know, I know there's a lot more, but I don't want to get too deep into it. You know, I'll be shouting out names, you know, for the next hour, but that's, you know, that's, like I said, that's the kind of stuff I think about. That's what I'm trying to share with you guys. And what's great about it is that the more I talk to you guys about it, the more in real time I come up with ideas and then tell you, you know, like that's why teachers love to teach, you know, as they're teaching, spontaneously new ideas come into their brain as they're explaining, you know, what they already know, you know. So, and then obviously, you know, in the comments, if y'all want to, you know, leave some stuff, we'll talk about it like that, you know, and basically just come up with new information, hopefully, and move the field a little forward, or at least just have a good time, you know, trying. So on that note, I love y'all. Skydweller out. Peace. And stay tuned for the next episode. Love y'all. Peace.